If you want to know really where the rubber meets the road with all of this, I'm going to put a link down below to a book that it outlines everything scripturally and historically. It's called The Israel Deception, written by Ken Shorgen. And I will also put a link to an interview that he did about the book. But it will knock your socks off, really. Be prepared for a paradigm shift. But if we don't want to be deceived in these end times, we're going to have to get real and get ready to accept the truth, because that which is known as the state of Israel right now, when I'm going to go into a little bit of this today, is not the Israel that God talks about in the end times. So what I want you to do, are you ready for truth? Jesus, Yeshua said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Knowing the truth sets you free. But sometimes, especially Christians and Messianics, are not ready to handle it. Are you? At this very moment, the state of Israel is at war. Many prophetic soothsayers are trying to equate these events to Ezekiel 38 and 39, Gog and Magog. But when you accept the historical facts surrounding the modern state of Israel, and you will hear about that in the interview Ken did with a radio station, and I will put that link below, it becomes, the state of Israel today becomes irrelevant in light of Bible prophecy. Israel was two things: the name of Isaac's son, whom God changed from Jacob to Israel, and the nation of people chosen by God to bring the Messiah into the world. That is what Israel was. It was a man, and it was a people. It wasn't a country, it wasn't a state. In fact, the people known as Israel did not live in Israel. They lived in Judah. And here is one of our challenges today. God just ordained that Judah would be the ruling tribe, and that's why it was the land of Judah, the kingdom of Judah. And the Levites would be the keepers of the law. But today in Israel, the Levites are not the keepers of the law. The Pharisees are, and some of the other sects. When they went into captivity in Babylon is when these other things broke out. The Levites did not write down the Torah, did not write down these things because God told them not to. They were to take it to heart. But there was fear that the words, the Torah and all that would die out if they didn't put it to paper. So they wrote it in scrolls, and they changed it. They changed the lettering of the language. They changed a lot of things. The kingdom of Israel came into being when 10 other tribes rebelled against Judah and formed a new nation in the north. It was called the Northern Kingdom. But God made it quite clear when he overthrew this northern kingdom in 722 BCE, before Common Era, that Israel, the kingdom, would never rise to be a kingdom again. Now, let me say that again. God ordained in 722 BCE that the kingdom of Israel would never rise to be a kingdom, a country, a state again. It was Judah where the Messiah was born, crucified, and resurrected. And while on the earth, Messiah Yeshua proclaimed that the temple that they're trying to rebuild for the umpteenth time, would be destroyed, no stone left upon another. And it was never to be rebuilt. There was never to be another kingdom of Israel. God knew it was going to be destroyed. So he said, now the temple is not one made with hands. The temple is where the Ruach HaKodesh lives within. You, the believer, are the temple. There isn't going to be another temple. But these people are deceived. And a lot of the church is deceived. God will reside not in temples made with hands. The original meeting place of God's ordination was a tent in the land of Shiloh. The temple built by Solomon existed only for a brief period, and then it was destroyed because of rebellion, because he brought idols into the temple. He brought false priests and pagan worshipers into the temple. And in Ezekiel, it says that the glory of the Lord departed. God left. And he wrote Ichabod, which means the glory is gone. He was never coming back to a temple, but they rebuilt it again. You had Herod's temple, and now they're trying to build the third temple. Maybe it's the fourth, I don't know. Thinking that they have to do this to bring back the Messiah. But they don't. It has nothing to do with the return of the Messiah. There is only one true Israel, and that is the descendants, the blood descendants of Jacob. That is who Israel is. And most of the Jews living in the land called the state of Israel are not blood Jews. They're Khazarian. They're Ashkenazis. So, any state or nation rising up and calling itself Israel is a fraudulent creation of man, because God said, never again.